Hello to everybody watching this. I am the Jurassic Wonder, and today we are here to talk about the newest and possibly last Jurassic Park movie we'll get in a long time, Jurassic World Dominion. I'm here to share to you my thoughts and opinions, how I feel about this movie in general, and to always remember that these are just my opinions, and if you happen to agree or disagree with them, that's completely fine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions and completely fine with those. Anyway, let's get down to it. This is my thoughts and opinions on Jurassic World Dominion. So when it comes down to Jurassic World Dominion, I think I have a little bit of problems with it, but for the most part, I can definitely say I enjoy this film. When it comes to characters and dinosaurs, it definitely works and gives me a lot of nostalgia seeing the new characters talk to the old characters. However, it does fall short with some stuff, like the story. In fact, I think we should talk about the negative stuff before we go on to the positive stuff. So, let's get down to it. I think the biggest problem I have with this movie's story is definitely none other than the biggest problem that I think everyone is having with the locusts. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate the locusts or anything like that, but I just don't think they should be the main threat of the movie. Them being in the movie is one thing. I think they can fit in the movie just perfectly fine. I think seeing new species of prehistoric animals can be a very interesting idea for a Jurassic Park movie, as long as it isn't something like, I don't know, like a mammoth or a caveman. But giant grasshoppers as the main threat instead of the dinosaurs? I don't know, man. That doesn't feel right with me. I understand that Jurassic Park isn't about the dinosaurs in general, and it's more about genetic power. So, I understand that the movie wouldn't focus on the dinosaurs alone, but I don't feel like the grasshoppers were the right choice for this. One of the bigger problems I also have is the dialogue. The dialogue in this movie was really bad. There was a lot of cheesy and just lame lines, and it was just pretty bad. Hell, I'm pretty sure even Camp Cretaceous didn't have this much cheesy and corny lines in the show, but Dominion did. I also thought a lot of the pacing and the editing were really weird in this film, and I thought they just didn't work very well in this movie like the rest, or like some of the other Jurassic Park films did. This movie's pacing is very rushed and weird. Like, it doesn't give enough time for you to absorb in these characters and learn where they've been, or what they've been doing for the last 4 years. They're just kind of sort of, oh hey, we're here anyway. That's like about it. Like, it's just, and like, I understand we have to move to the plot, but like, we don't really know about how these characters got here. And it's just sort of confusing. And like I said, the editing is very off. There's a lot of weird, like not shots, but like weird moments where there's like an action scene and the camera just kind of sort of shakes, and it's just so awkward. And it's just so weird to look at. I also think a lot of the dinosaurs, at least with the new ones, did not get enough time. A lot of these new creatures just kind of sort of come and go. I won't spoil which one it is, but they just kind of appear and they never appear again. I'm assuming when the extension cut comes out, they're going to introduce more, at least a little bit more of these creatures, which I'm hoping they do. But for now, they're just kind of in the movie, not too much. But by far, the biggest problem I have with this film is none other than the main dinosaur villain itself, the Giganotosaurus. And now, don't get me wrong, this is a very cool dinosaur, and I'm very happy to see it in this movie, but I never once thought of it as the main dinosaur threat of this film. A while back, Colin Trevorrow, the director, has mentioned that the Giganotosaurus was like the Joker, wanting to watch the world burn. But honestly, I never really got that. I always thought the Giga in this film was more like just a big animal. And don't get me wrong, I like it when a dinosaur can just act like an animal and not a monster. In fact, I kind of prefer it like just like that. But if you're gonna tell us that the last dinosaur villain we're gonna get in a long time, especially the one that is part of the Indominus Rex genetic makeup, I don't feel like this was the right choice if it wasn't going to be the Joker kind of style villain, wanting to be just an evil monster. I thought the Giga was going to be something kind of like Jaws, Shark Bruce, where there's not really that much of an explanation on why it's so dangerous or so evil. It's just kind of like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's just not the thing here. It's just kind of an animal. And don't get me wrong, I love it when a dinosaur can just act like an animal. But if the main threat is not going to be a dangerous, monstrous creature, then it just doesn't raise the stakes that high, honestly. I don't think the Giga should have been the main threat if they weren't going to make this a dangerous monster creature. The Indominus Rex, the Indoraptor, and the Scorpius Rex all felt like monsters, and they were rightfully the main antagonists of those movies and shows. But the Giga just kind of feels like the average dinosaur creature, which doesn't really make it all that interesting. A YouTuber named RazorRex believes that the prologue should have been added into the movie. In fact, I agree with him deeply, which would have added into the Giganotosaurus and Rexy's fight a little bit better. I'll make sure to provide the link to his YouTube video about it in the description after I'm done. But despite all these problems, Jurassic World Dominion has enough good stuff to make this movie a lot of fun. I think it's time we finally get into the positives. Like every other Jurassic Park movie, the biggest compliment that I can give are the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs in this movie, like always, are amazing to look at. From the big frightening Giganotosaurus to the mysterious yet beautiful Therizinosaurus, they got it all down with these guys. The characters themselves are also really good. Owen Grady, Claire Dearing are great as always, and the new characters like Kayla and Ramsey are also amazing. And of course, the original cast, Alan Grant, Ian Malcolm, and Ellie Sattler being back are perfect. Seeing them interact with the new characters just puts a huge smile on my face. I'm so happy they're here in this movie. I know a lot of people are calling out for it being nostalgia bait, but I truly don't get that. Sure, they probably could have been in the movie a little bit better, but as a whole, I was really happy they were in this film, and I thought they play as a role fine enough. Essentially, this was like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in No Way Home for me. And also, of course, like always, the action scenes are really, really good. Like the Malta chasing, the Quetzalcoatlus plane attack, and even the final battle, even if I think it's a little unrealistic. I also like how this movie is showing us it's not just any ordinary Jurassic Park movie. It's a different Jurassic Park story. They're no longer on an island. Dinosaurs are all over the planet, and there's like illegal dinosaur trafficking. There's dinosaur fight arenas, and it's so cool to see. I think this is something different, and even though I enjoyed Isla Nublar and Isla Sorna a lot, I'm very glad that we're not going to be on an island anymore. I'm very glad that we're doing something different for this franchise, because I think it's finally the right decision to go through. I also really enjoy seeing these characters bond together and going through their character arcs, and it's really believable too. Coming back to the dinosaur, we also get some returning of old dinosaurs, like the Dilophosaurus, which I welcomed with open arms. I was so happy to see this guy again. These dinosaurs haven't appeared since the very first movie, and I was very, very happy to see these little spitters return. There's also new species like Lystrosaurus, Dimetrodon, Pyroraptor, Therizinosaurus, Quetzalcoatlus, Atrociraptors, and of course Giganotosaurus, and quite a few more that I might have missed out on. Jurassic World Dominion has a lot of new dinosaurs, and probably has the most out of any Jurassic Park movies as a whole. I really, really enjoyed this movie for the most part, with its dinosaurs. There's also a lot of moments in this movie that just look so goddamn beautiful. There's so many shots that look straight out of a beautiful painting, and it's just so amazing to look at. This movie is just beautiful to watch. It's just such a beautiful movie in general. I feel like a lot of this movie can be just posters, just from the shot of it. There's also a lot of other stuff that returned from the previous movie in this one that aren't fully explained and don't entirely make sense, but are very happy to see. There's also Blue, who is amazing as always, and Beta is just adorable. So for the most part, Jurassic World Dominion is a fun ride for me. It's not an amazing ride, but it's a fun one. I give Jurassic World Dominion a 7 out of 10. It's not perfect, but I enjoyed it. Good job, Colin. And that was my thoughts and opinion on Jurassic World Dominion. Did you love it? Did you like it? Did you think it was okay? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments section below. Until then, this is the Jurassic Wonders signing out.
See? Not so bad.